Amanda Land, Amanda Land, Amanda Land. Good morning, everybody. Hello. How's everybody doing? It is Monday, February 17th, here at Views from Amanda Land. Shout out to all of you for waking up on the right side of history for news and truths by any joke necessary. News and truths by any joke necessary. Kesha Brown is already telling you to telling y'all to get yourselves together. Good morning, Memeli from South Africa. How's everybody doing? As you know, this is my week off. I need to rest, but I also need to finish writing my book. And I've been having a little bout of insomnia as well. It's just been a time. I've been having a little bout of insomnia, trying to get my book together, but also trying to just process everything that's saying. My sweater says, "We're rooting for you," with root vegetables. So shout out to everybody joining us from all over the world. We've got Amanda Landers in Indianapolis. Thank you, Tammy. We've got Amanda Landers in Chicago. We've got Amanda Landers in where else? What else we gonna say? Where else we got? We got Amanda Landers joining us from Concord, North Carolina. We got Amanda Landers joining us from Dallas, Texas. Old Grease says, "Sounds like you got a job to do, assigned by a desire from within." And you do this with the avatar, with an Avi of homie from V for Vendetta, which makes it even more deep what you're trying to say. I mean, or something. That's as close I get to believing in high power. You know, it's interesting that you say that, because I woke up out of my sleep last night to write about what I consider God to be. Yeah, there was a really good discussion that went on my live last night here on YouTube Live. And I'm actually going to bring that conversation here, which, there were two conversations. One, we were talking about just Jesus, but and the difference between magic and miracles, which I don't really think there is one, but nonetheless, we were also talking about, I explained the difference on the scope, okay, on the spectrum from, leftists all the way to alt-rightists. And so you can go check that out, but I'm going to come here and do a more official version, because over there, the screen is flipped and everything is backwards, which it is here, but I can mitigate that by putting up a graphic. I actually hate that the screen is backward here. Like, that you have to just guess that says the revolution will be televised, and that this is Palestine, and that this says we're rooting for you. Like, I feel like it shouldn't be reversed. Like, we should have figured that out, right? You know what? I actually think I have a fix for that, so I'm going to work on that. Nonetheless, this is my bye week, where I will be taking time away, but there's still some things that we have to address. First and foremost, shout out to everybody who has subscribed. My goal is to be at 200,000 subscribers. The image isn't reversed for y'all? The image is reversed for me. Oh, wow. Oh, cool. You see it proper. Oh, that's neat. Okay. Love it. So my, what was I going to say? Lost my train of thought. My goal for my birthday, July 1st, is that you all will have gotten us to 200,000 subscribers. 200,000 subscribers. We are at 165 right now. We are at 165,000 subscribers. So we're trying to get to 200. And we also are really just working on continuing to get these views up for Views from Amanda Land and spreading the word and letting folks know what goes on and how we do here. And for everybody who is like, we understand YouTube, the reality is that comments in the video and shares and watching obvious things, that is what makes the difference. We're really light this morning. We're really light with only 249 folks, but we're going to get there. But nonetheless, I'm really working on coming back strong with you guys next week. In the meantime, in between time, let's remember that we do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Let's remember that you can watch for 20 minutes or replay, and you are absolutely helping to add. Remember to leave a seal in the chat if you like something Amanda Seals has said. Also, remember to subscribe to my Patreon if you want to support even more. Remember, I am an independent artistic intellectual creating content for collective liberation, all with the support of viewers like you. And you can also support by dropping a super right here in YouTube's. Please also remember that I have a free show this weekend. Yes, this Saturday, I have a free show in New York City, and you can get meet and greet tickets now at amandaseals.com. When I say free, I literally mean the show is a free show. I don't mean that in any nuanced way. The show is a free show, and you can get tickets for meet and greet at amandaseals.com. You can also know that there will be merch available. Okay? So when you come to the show, know that merch will be available. The free show is What Would the Ancestors Say? My one-woman show where I am bringing together comedy, music, lecture, commentary to discuss and to ask ourselves, what would the ancestors say about where we are now? And what kind of ancestors are we going to be for those who come after us? I have a new item there that is not available that's not available anywhere else, and that is going to be the that is going to be the What Would the Ancestors Say tote bags. I'll actually try and bring that up on the screen for you. So I'm looking forward to doing this show. I want to give you all some insight though. Now, there's only 200 people, and because only 200 people are allowed in, you have to get there on time. Okay? You have to get there on time, or better yet, early. Because the way it works is that you are in the atrium, and if you're there before 6 o'clock, they can't kick you out. If you're in the atrium already before 6 o'clock, then they can't get you out. The doors open at 6. So I suggest, if you really about it and you want to try and play games, then I suggest you get there before 6. All right. Also, you can get merch while you're there. You can talk to people. Remember, when you're at my type of events, there's going to be like-minded people there to talk to build community with. So this is a great opportunity for you to do that before the show even starts. Okay? So Madam St. Beatrice said, how early are we talking? I don't know. That's on you, boo-boo. That's on you. All I'm saying is that the space only holds 200 people. It is for free, and it is for free. I cannot stress this enough that the show is for free. This is how I want to work moving forward. I want to be able to give you all free shows. There's also a Q&A happening after the show. And if you want to support in other ways, for instance, by getting a meet and greet ticket or by purchasing merch, then you support in those ways. However, the actual art itself, which is meant for the purpose of community building, empowerment, enrichment, and education, is available to you. So that is my framework, my plan that I want to do moving forward. Now, in the past, I have actually taken an L with that because people don't take a free show seriously. And that's unfortunate because that means that they've been indoctrinated by capitalism to think that if you didn't spend $1,000 and have to risk their rent, that it isn't valuable. Those days are over, I hope. you all will still be able to see the truth, to see the real. Hi, Jordy Bears. And as Yana points out, people will get there at 6:05 and complain they can't get in. This is a fact. This is a fact. I want to also add that, okay, hold on. If more than, not allege, hey, boo-boo, if more than 200 show up before 6, will they let all stay? I don't believe so, but this is what I'm actually hoping happens. I'm hoping that we have way more than 200 people, and so they're like, well, we're going to have to do this again. That's what I'm hoping happens. I said hoping. That's what I'm hoping happens. Yes. Now, if you buy a meet and greet ticket, but you didn't get in, your meet and greet ticket will still be honored. I mean, you got to come back after the show, but your meet and greet ticket will still be honored. So there we go. Okay. It doesn't exactly say on the site how to get ticks. It is a free show. And it says on the site, tickets are first come, first serve. I don't know how much information y'all need other than that. The show is at 7. So I'm going to do this. 6 p.m. doors. I guess I'd be needed. Okay. As somebody who loves information, I'm always amazed that y'all need more information. 6 p.m. doors. 7 p.m. show. Entrance is first come, first serve. I'm editing this in real time. First come, first serve. Only 200 seats available. Okay. Is that better? Is that better? 6 p.m. doors, 7 p.m. show at the Lincoln Center Atrium in NYC. I'm even going to put the address because as specific as that is with all of the Googles that we have, I know that I'm going to still have to do this. 66th and Broadway. Okay. Now we got it. I feel like we're there now. Now there's all clarity. Meet and greet ticks are available here where you click here. Okay. That I can't shift. I feel like if it's not clear enough that when I say here, it means click here, then I don't know that we should meet. I don't know that we should meet. Miriam, you should know about volunteering by tomorrow. Okay. Will the bag be available online or just for the show? The bag will be available just for the show. It might be available for online later on someday in the future, but right now it'll be available just for the show. Thank you, Mooney. Meet and greet are on the site in a big yellow box in big letters. In big letters. I don't know what else we should do in big letters. Okay. Now, I also want to let y'all know that today is apparently President's Day, which I had no idea. But on this President's Day, I have decided to be very generous and make the SFB satin bonnets available for the F the Pres Day sale. That's what I'm calling it, the F the Pres Day sale. So you can actually go to amandalandexports.com after the show, and you can get your Smart, Funny, and Black bonnets available as individual purchase items. I know that they were available only in the bonus bundles, but in honor of F the Prez, I love this graphic, by the way. My mom was like, you need to print that graphic out. That is a poster. I want that as a poster. I want that as a poster. Okay, wait. So, all right, DACV got what they needed. What did you need? Carmen said, Eventbrite is also showing the meet and greet. Click here and it takes you to the Eventbrite. What did you know? How was that not clear? Meet and greet tickets here. It's a. Are you serious? You didn't see the hyperlink? Get your meet. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Come on, y'all. For real? Come on. Come on. That upset me. That upset me. I'm sorry. I'm like, what? I'm just, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna show y'all what it looked like on the actual website. And you tell me if I'm bugging. Maybe I'm bugging. Sometimes I be bugging. Sometimes I be bugging. And so maybe this is one of those times. I absolutely understand, though, that y'all are the audience I'm trying to reach. And so I need to listen when you all tell me things. But sometimes I'm like, do I need to listen to this? Because I think maybe I'm bugging. But I don't think I'm bugging. So this is what it looks like on the site. Okay. And I didn't even put no fancy nothing. I just said it. I made it real basic because I didn't want there to be no confusion. So on the site, on amandaseals.com, where you can go and get your information about the show happening this Saturday, this is what it looks like. Now, I feel like, can you make the graphic an iron? Can you make the graphic an iron-on instead of selling shirt hoodie? I didn't even know that was an option. Okay, you don't see that on your end, Dak B? Okay, so what do you, now I got to talk to Dak B on the side because I'm like, if you don't see that on your end, I want to know what you see on your end because I'm over here bugging. Like I wasn't even supposed to still be here, but y'all are like making me feel confused now because you're saying you don't see that on your end. And I don't know why. I don't know how you don't see that on your end because even on the mobile version of the site, it's clear. Even on the mobile version, it's clear. You heard my New York accent. It's clear. So I don't. Anyways, this stuff is important though. I know you may be like, Amanda, why are we still talking about this? And it's because at the end of the day, I have to reach the people directly. And I have to listen to you guys when you tell me that things don't make sense. I have to know that sometimes I feel like things are obvious and they may not be obvious. Obviously, I'm moving from a place of my own space of knowledge. So that is going to be different than somebody who's meeting me at zero, right? So I have to listen to you guys. So don't think that, I know that it's like I'm clowning, but it really does matter to me that it all makes sense. So thank you, Dak B. And I'm going to look further into this. Okay. I'm going to look further into this, but I hope that you guys, I hope that I will see you at the show. Okay. Let's get into our word of the day. Today's word of the day is deco. A quick look or glance. Deco. I receive updates at the end of every week of all of the bills that have passed through the website. That have passed through the house. And I gotta say that with one deco, I was like, they trying to take this whole country out in one fell swoop. So deco is a quick look or glance, Adrena, I'm going to use this comment. Y'all better show up. If I take a deco at 7 p.m. and the audience is not full, I'm going to cry. If I brought a free show to New York and y'all don't come, I am going to cry. Y'all don't want me to cry, do you? Do you want me to cry? Because I tell you what, in the words of Mariah, I don't want to cry. Don't wanna cry. Nothing in the world could take us back to where we used to be. And I'm giving you my heart and soul. Woo-hoo. Yes, I'm giving you my heart and soul. 'Cause, baby, I don't wanna cry. Now, y'all know I'm a Cancer. So if I say I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna cry. All right. Chloe is always like, she knows every song. It's the autism. My memory is nuts. My memory is nuts. All right, let's use deco in a sentence. I'm going to take it back for you real quick, Melissa. Hold on. Y'all know that I was a gymnast, right? Melissa just said, this is taking me back to you singing between bar turns, because when we was at gym, I would really be singing between turns. And I really just got up and was able to go get my grips. Why do my grips still smell like chalk? What a time. But yeah. And there was one time where I was challenged to sing Copacabana during my bar routine. And I did it. Copacabana, the hottest place north of Havana, at the Copacabana. Okay, anyways, y'all know I love a nostalgia moment. Thank you, Melissa, for giving me that. All right, let's use deca. Let's use deco in a sentence. D-E-K-K-O. Deco is a noun. It means a quick look or glance. Deco is a noun that means a quick look or glance. Can you use it in a sentence? A quick look or glance. Deco. Deco is a quick look or glance, D-E-K-K-O, and it is a noun. Deco. Who's got me on the sentences? Let's see. All right, Aberrant Crux says, if the art ain't deco, then I can't do more than give it a deco. I like it. I could, but I only gave the definition of deco. This was Trixie right there. Isis says, I give my ex a stank deco after seeing him with his newbie. I love it. Adrena said, I took a deco at the syllabus and said, nah. Jessica said, one deco at my inbox this morning and I'm already demoralized. Oh, man, that was real. That hit me. CEO Voice of Dissent, power to the people, who did offer to help me with the mechanics of all of this. And so I need to figure out how to get in touch with you. Me and my fellow Black colleagues always share a deco when something out of pocket is said in meetings. I love that. We need community. Mikhail Watson said, Mikhail said, I took a deco as I left the gym for my game only to see my boyfriend hugged up on another chick. I hope that's a lie. Like, I hope that's just like a one you're using for now. And actually, we're going to end it up with this. We have two more to end on. Annie says, I took a deco at the I miss you text from my ex this morning and blocked him. Good move, Annie. That was great. And Royal Majesty is going to close us out with, I took a deco of America and determined it was ghetto, like get and toe. Yes. We love it, okay? We freaking love it. All right. That is our word of the day. Deco, use it in a sentence. So everybody listening on the podcast, make sure that you use it in a sentence wherever you are, wherever you be. All right. So the way this is going to work is I am going to put up a topic of discussion that we're going to address. And then I'm going to walk away and you guys are going to talk in the chat and I will come back at 11:15, and I will do my PSA. Hopefully some of y'all will still be here. This is supposed to build community, and also it really is about the fact that it doesn't have to just be me leading these conversations. You guys got to be having these conversations amongst each other, and when we are in this space, it is not because, oh, Amanda is the almighty, all knowledgeable. I'm simply moderating and providing my point of view and my context and and the information as a jump board, as a springboard. But nonetheless, it is always expected that you all are going to take a look at this, not just a deco, but take a look at this video and then go on and do further research and further curiosity looks into things and get your own perspectives that might end up being different or that might expand ours. So today, what I want to talk about is the concept of people are the greatest resource. People are the greatest resource. And this concept came from a video that I watched about Burkina Faso. And I want you all to check out this video, and then I'm going to put up the discussion topics. We'll go through them, and then I'll step away so I can go work, and you guys can discuss amongst yourselves in the comments.
Burkina Faso does not really have much in terms of mineral resources.
It's landlocked too.
It's landlocked too. But the most important resource really are the people. Think about it, it's the people. So you don't have the kind of gold, diamond, copper, uranium, cobalt, coltan that Congo has. But now you have one of the best leaders ever produced in Africa. Says, let's stop this dependency, physical dependency and mental dependency. Change the name of the country from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, the land of the uprighteous people. And they started doing for themselves, right? Including producing their own food. He said, if you have to import your food, how can you say you're independent? We've been growing food for such a long time, for centuries, before the Europeans came. Now, why are we importing food? Within 3 years, they were food self-sufficient, right? Education, healthcare, fighting deforestation. The people started taking control of their own destiny.
So when we look at that video and we think about a place like Burkina Faso, which is now ruled by Toure, who he led a military coup in I think 2021 or 2022, and he has now been the leader of Burkina Faso. He survived like multiple assassination attempts, but he's still there, and he is a part of the movement of African nations that are expelling colonizers from their countries. Among them are Niger, Mali, and no, I don't think it's Mali. It's Niger, Senegal, and I think maybe it is Mali. But nonetheless, all of this is really important to understand because it really applies to then us in the United States and just us as a people. So, discussion prompts, here we go. Feel free to research on the spot and bring examples to the chat, okay? Feel free to do that. What are similarities and differences between Burkina Faso and the United States as nations? This is an important starting point of the conversation because it really is important to identify what are the differences in places so that you can identify what are the unique abilities and unique limitations. So there's that. Another conversation point. What aspects of leadership would you like to see in American governance? Now, I've already seen some people in here saying, this is just America's too lazy, et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to hear none of that. That is not helpful. It is reductive and it is defeatist. At the end of the day, we have been conditioned to not imagine better for ourselves. We have been conditioned to also not expect much of each other. So this is not going to shift until we actually shift culturally how we think about each other. There's such a culture of flakiness in California, or in Los Angeles, I should say, that now no one expects to be on time. So when you expect someone to be on time or someone show up or someone to keep plans, they look at you crazy because the culture has accepted this. In the United States, nothing is going to change unless we actually change culture. The culture of the United States has to change. And a lot of that comes from the top down. So I ask again, when you all are in your discussion space, what aspects of leadership would you like to see in American governance? Another point is, in what ways are the people of the United States the resources? How are they used, misused? When we talk about the concept of people are the greatest resource, we have to think beyond the basics. Okay? When we look at Black Americans in the United States and we think the greatest resource, many of you will say, oh, well, you know, we were slaves and we built this country on our back. Okay, yeah. How how are we also a great resource? Particularly look at sports. 100% of the NFL, majority owners of the football teams are white men. However, they would not have ownership of anything of value if it weren't for all the Black men on the field, literally on the field, playing. They're a resource. How are they used? Misused. Last discussion point. What are realistic ways you and your community can take control of your own destiny? I'm going to play the video again, and I'm going to leave these discussion points up after the video. I'm going to play the video again so that now you can watch the video with these thoughts in your mind.
Burkina Faso does not really have much in terms of mineral resources.
It's landlocked too.
It's landlocked too. But the most important resource really are the people. Think about it, it's the people. You know, so you don't have the kind of gold, diamond, copper, uranium, cobalt, coltan that Congo has. But now you have one of the best leaders ever produced in Africa. Says, let's stop this dependency, physical dependency and mental dependency. Change the name of the country from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, the land of the uprighteous people. And they started doing for themselves, right? Including producing their own food. He said, if you have to import your food, how can you say you're independent? We've been growing food for such a long time, for centuries.
Okay, real quick, I see a lot of chatter about I don't know, astrology and stuff in the chat right now. And I'm not trying to censor you, but it's kind of like I'm trying to do something here and y'all talking about Saturn. So make an appointment to talk about that at another time. The chat is literally being used for a very specific purpose right now.
Before the Europeans came. Now, why are we importing food? Within 3 years, they were food self-sufficient, right? Education, healthcare, fighting deforestation. The people started taking control of their own destiny.
Now I got to play the goddamn video again.
You know, Burkina Faso does not really have much in terms of mineral resources.
It's landlocked too.
It's landlocked too. But the most important resource really are the people. Think about it, it's the people. You know, so you don't have the kind of gold, diamond, copper, uranium, cobalt, coltan that Congo has. But now you have one of the best leaders ever produced in Africa. Says, let's stop this dependency, physical dependency and mental dependency. Change the name of the country from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, the land of the uprighteous people. And they started doing for themselves, right? Including producing their own food. He said, if you have to import your food, how can you say you're independent? We've been growing food for such a long time, for centuries, before the Europeans came. Now, why are we importing food? Within 3 years, they were food self-sufficient, right? Education, healthcare, fighting deforestation. The people started taking control of their own destiny.
Okay, so I had to play that 3 times. The people in the podcast are like, oh my God, Amanda, please. But sometimes you got to hear something 3 times. So these are the discussion topics. I will be back at 11:10. And you guys, I leave you to have your own discussions and to talk amongst yourselves. Yeah. What similarities and differences between Burkina Faso and the United Nations, and the United States as nations? What aspects of leadership would you like to see in American governance? In what ways are the people of the United States the resources? How are they used, misused? And lastly, what are realistic ways you and your community can take control of your own destiny? All right. I'm back, y'all. Yes, I'm back, y'all. Yes, I'm backity back because I'm back, y'all. I'm back, 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 to back, to back. I'm back, y'all. Yes, I'm back, y'all. I was watching some of the chat, and I mean, wow, y'all are smarty, yardy, yardy. Man, really, really dope just to see the conversation that was happening. Um, and the information sharing. And Miss Latia, you're saying that was rough. I mean, it didn't look like it. It looked like y'all was doing really great. I did star some highlights that I saw at the end. I'm gonna start with addressing Mr. Mario DeAndre Brooks, who said we're not immune. That's how Glorilla would say it. We're not immune to bread and circuses. We were discussing Drake and the Super Bowl last week. Incorrect. We were discussing Kendrick Lamar and the Super Bowl last week. Drake was a part of the conversation, but had the performance been Drake at the Super Bowl, then the conversation probably would have been about how he has the opportunity in this space to not use it for bread and circuses and chose to do so. If the performance had been like Katy Perry, I wouldn't have talked about it at all. Okay? I wouldn't have even discussed it in any shape, way, or form. But some of the conversation included addressing things like, I wish Ross said, would also love for the arts and creatives to have a stake in government. Tired of art being fuel and indicators for liberation, but its sources being delegitimized due to capitalism. And so that is what I was referring to when I was speaking about Kendrick. And I also feel like there has become this art is celebrity thing, which is not the case. Okay. That's not the case. Like, some artists do end up becoming celebrities by nature of their ability. But I will also say that if you are an artist and you want to focus more on your art than celebrity, that's a choice. Right? That's a choice. I could have at a certain point decided I wanted to be a celebrity, and I would have went on a completely different route. And there's certain people that are my peers that have done that have chosen celebrity because they were actually mediocre artists, but they were better celebrities and faces, and they were willing to be used as a tool for that purpose. But I agree with you, Ross. And I know the Working Families Party, like, they have part of their budget is to do consultation with artists. Now, I will tell you, I don't really rock with them because they did me shady with What Would the Ancestors Say. One of the individuals at that organization was going to fund What Would the Ancestors Say, and then didn't show up for our call and said, we just want to make sure, we want to see the show first to make sure that what Amanda says she's going to do is what she's going to do. And it's that type of distrust that actually ends up fueling our inability to continue to move forward, right? Now, Adrian asked, do we trust each other to cook for one another? Spot someone on your couch. This is what we mean by culture. This is what we mean by shifting culture. We have been created in this nation to not trust each other because that also keeps us apart. That keeps us from forming the militias that the Second Amendment is supposed to be about. And when they do continue to push the NRA, when these gun manufacturers continue to push certain guns, they literally were doing so when it came to like home invasion, because they wanted to create a fear that would make people feel like they need to continue to purchase firearms because everyone is out to get them. That's a real thing. And I think that there was also a certain level of trust in the past because there was a belief system that many of us saw each other partaking in as it goes with like religion. Right? So if I see you every Sunday standing there in the same place as me, talking about, learning about, communicating about trust and the 10 Commandments, etc., I'm going to have a bit more trust for you than, if I don't see you on a regular basis, particularly in a space that is considered to be a space of elevating our humanity, elevating our ethics, elevating our principles. But we don't have those spaces like we used to, namely because those spaces actually became distrusting in their own right. Okay? Those spaces became distrusting in their own right. In their own right. There are also a number of states that will not allow you to feed homeless people. Yes, there are a number of states that have a law against feeding homeless people. I mean, we have states that have laws against helping people get registered to vote. We have states that have laws against giving water to people who are standing in line to vote. These are all things that are literally in the legislation. If you take food that a store has disposed of in the trash, if you go and take that trash and then you go and you give it to someone who is hungry, that is considered against the law. It's considered theft. Yes, it is considered theft. Now, very easily, there could be a law that says once it is disposed of, you are no longer in possession of it. But that's something that can be literally put in place by your city council. So you're being punished for theft. Another part of the conversation that I saw that was really cool was, Kismet, you said something that I say every day. What confuses me about this administration is you need people to make you money. What's the long game if you destroy us all? I'm still trying to figure this out. Now, we do know this, that the human body and the human spirit is incredibly difficult to destroy. Let's not forget that they brought folks over packed like sardines on ships. And even though only 10% of those people survived, it was still enough for them to exploit them enough to build an entire economy and eventually a country off of. So I think we need to remember that these are sadistic people and that these people are actually being aided in many ways by others that they weren't aided by before. But I also feel like there's a whole other realm that we're not acknowledging that Daw B86 points out here and says, now, why aren't we collecting info and data on ourselves and them right now is the question. And what this speaks to is the conversation around ourselves as resources, right? We are the greatest resource. So I think it was Rolando who had said, well, you know, they're collecting data on us right now. Like we are a resource in that way. And Darby said, well, they could be a resource for us. Facts. Now, there was a moment in the chat where Alexa had asked, what tools do Americans have to change anything right now? And she was met with doomerism by somebody who accused her of being doomerism. And she said, asking critical questions rather than regurgitating hopeful platitudes is not doomerism. And that is a fact. That is a fact. That is a critical question that does need to be asked. And that's really one of the questions that is going to be in the midst of this whole discussion, right? What tools do Americans have to create change? That is part of what way are the people of the United States the resources? That is part of what are realistic ways you and your community can take control of your own destiny. I mean, it's just literally a rewording of the same question that I'm asking. Now, Kismet, actually, and then CO, Voice of Dissent, said, I'm curious if folks in the chat can share a community-driven activity they started or want to start. Please share that in the chat so that I can bring those up on the screen. And last but not least, first of all, Kismet, you won. Because you made it on here twice. Okay, so you win, girl. You win. Show your love to Kismet, y'all. Show your love to Kismet. Kismet won the conversation. Show your love. Show your love. Okay, Kismet. Show your love. Yeah. Show your love. I said, Kismet held it down in the chat, baby. Kismet held it down in the chat, baby. Use your brain while making breakfast. Use your brain while making money. Use your brain while making change. Good job, Kismet. Yes. Kismet asked, actually, she didn't even ask, she stated, we really don't need to reinvent the wheel. We need to find other nations like Burkina Faso and combine what has worked the best and adapt it here. And that was the point of the whole conversation today. That was the point of the whole conversation today, y'all. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. We have to adapt it to our needs. That's what we have to do. And so much effort has been put into undermining your critical thinking skills and to undermining your interest in research. If you wonder why I get so irritated when you all are intellectually lazy and you ask questions that you can answer for yourself, it's because I know that is conditioning. That's a result of conditioning. I don't need to go figure this out for myself. I can just ask somebody and it'll just arrive to me like magic. That's a result of conditioning. And we need to continue to see ourselves as the greatest resources. Okay? And we need to see ourselves in that resource as not always having to need to take from somebody else. So shout out to Kismet for bringing us back around. Now, I had asked, what are some things you all doing in your community to control your destiny? Trini Dominican says, as I am successful with growing veggies in my garden, I share my harvest and how I did it with others. Ooh, I want to learn how to do that. Janine said, inspired by you, Miss Seals, I have started to buy tickets to local community events to be given away to others. Fabulous! For those who don't know, when I was doing ticketed events, what I would do is I would have people who can't attend actually donate, and then we would use the donated money to buy tickets for people who are able or who want to attend but don't have the funds to do so. Danny said, when I was in high school, I started a food donation program. Fabulous. Ross said, local foodways can be accessed via that firm/garden tab on Craigslist. I did not know that. Interesting. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Natalegiore said, I helped start an urban community farm. And Sarah said, I've been wanting to start a community cleanup situation. I pick up the trash on my block, but the whole neighborhood needs hands. So I ask you, what stops us from starting the community cleanup? Is it like not knowing how to get people aware of it? Is it like not having time? Is it a trepidation around like actually having to interact with other folks? I'm curious. Aberrant Crux said, started with food here. Planting fruit trees also cuts down pollen with those who have allergies. Interessante. 22 Superwoman said, my friend is a DJ and often throws donate and skate events for those in need. That's really cool. I would try to do with my shows, whenever possible, I would try to partner with organizations and do, like drives. So like when I was in Detroit, I partnered with the Entabanera Foundation who donated, who sends shoes to the Congo because the Congo is in such a place of chaos right now. One of the things that people don't think that they need is shoes. And there are so many illnesses that people contract through their feet and through having to walk through, bacteria-ridden dirt and soil and water, etc. So we did that with the Entabanera Foundation. We collected shoes and then we sent them to them. They're based in Tennessee and they sent them on to the Congo. So I just want to thank you all for participating in this. Tomorrow we will have another conversation topic. How did you guys enjoy this? Did it work for you? Did it not work for you? What are ways that could be improved? Let me know. I will be on live later tonight because I need to sell the rest of these bonnets. There are 50 bonnets left. So if you were thinking about getting a bonnet, go do so. There are also 49 bonnet bundles left. And there are also pins. Fatima, there is a version of life where we can do this on Zoom, but I feel like because there's so many ops, I only do that on my Patreon. Jatna, I had music playing the whole time, but I guess because I wasn't on camera, it wasn't playing. So now I learned that, but I definitely had music playing the whole time. So now I just learned that. Jessica said, didn't really like the style, but here to learn nevertheless. One thing I don't like is when people say what they don't like, but not why. You didn't like the style. That doesn't help me in any shape, way, or form. I'm not even sure what you consider to be the style. So expound, please. Mikhail says, this was good. I had to keep working, so I couldn't participate in the conversation fully. No doubt, no doubt. And Danny said, I like it, something to make you think and learn. So Janine said, what if each question was put on one at a time? That would mean I'd have to be here. So I like to think that you guys can handle it yourself. No, there's not going to be a guest moderator unless it's like in the chat. Okay, so we can do that. We can assign a guest moderator to get you from one question to another. Rolando, would you like to volunteer to be that tomorrow? Would you like to volunteer to be the guest moderator tomorrow? Because I can make that happen. And that's that. I will wait for responses. Rolando said yes. So Rolando will be your guest moderator tomorrow. Booyah. Ah, man, people really are the greatest resource. And I believe that that means not just that we ignore other resources, but that we begin to understand how we are the greatest resource. Want to remind everybody that I will be at Lincoln Center this Saturday. The show is at 7 p.m., but the doors open at 6 p.m., and only 200 seats are available for this free show. So if you're really trying to make sure that you get a seat, then you're going to want to be there no later than 6 p.m. There's also meet and greet tickets available. If you do not get tickets, if you are not granted entrance, but you still want to try and get a meet and greet, the meet and greet tickets are available ahead of time, and they'll also be available there. Okay, so that's going to be available as well as merch. So even if you don't make it into the show, you will still be able to get merch. So shout to everybody who's going to be there. And if you sign up to volunteer via Patreon, we will be letting you know by tomorrow evening. Also, some of the merch that will be there, I will be having my What Would the Ancestors Say tote bags there, which is not available online. It's only there. Also, the Harriet Tubman pins will be there as well, and some other goodies that I will reveal at a later date. Let's get into our public seals announcement. Amanda Land. PSA. So when I was on live last night, I was talking about the difference between, everything from conservatives to liberals to progressives to MAGAites, which is really just right-wingers and leftists, etc. And it was actually really necessary. And I didn't realize that we would need to have those kinds of discussions, but it was really necessary because ultimately a lot of people simply just don't know where they fall, where they land, and where they are. And identity is really important in how we show up and who we interact with. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't change, but it does mean that you have at least a grounding point to like what you're about. And so many of us are not aligned with certain religious practices. We're not aligned with, certain ways of life that have like a book of rules on how to exist. Nonetheless, we can still align with value systems that are shared amongst each other and that are actualized in a very real way, not simply by how we talk, but how we live, by the choices that we make, etc. And so I was really glad to see how many folks were engaging in the conversation, not just adding to it, but also learning from it, because it let me know, okay, this is one of the things that's going to make a difference, is that people don't even know the difference. They don't even know the difference between a Republican and a Democrat, or a liberal and a conservative and a progressive, etc. And I think when you start to understand those differences, it changes also where you're placing your trust. It changes where you're placing your energy. And we need to actively be doing that right now. We need to actively be conscious and cognizant of how whatever we were doing before is more than likely not helpful for what we need to do now in order to shift what's happening and what's going on moving forward. There is a great effort happening right now at the United States and Russia and Germany working together to bring back fascism and white supremacist ideology. And let me tell you, India is still going to get in on it because they be having white supremacist BS going on over there as well, even though ain't none of them white. There are efforts happening, and we need to be paying attention to those things. And we need to know where we fall within those things to know who we're going to rock with, who we're going to stand up with. So shout out to everybody out there who is in process of learning and identifying who they are so they can know where they need to be. PSA. All right, ma'am. That's it. That's the end of the show. Thank you all for giving me this brain space. And thank you all for doing your thing right here and sharing your brain space. I really appreciate you all giving me the opportunity to rest and focus on my work. As Sarah says, don't forget to hit the like button. If you have not subscribed, do so. Remember, if you want to get you a bonnet, it is the special 24-hour F the Prez Day sale there at Amanda Land Exports. And I hope that you will get yourself a bonnet, support somebody who needs a bonnet in their life while also supporting my work. It's going to be an interesting week like they all have been as of late. And we have to remember to just continue to support each other as we did today. Shout out to everybody who has dropped a super in the chat, who showed they love. Sarah showed her love. Janine showed her love. Sonia showed her love. Sonia, I always say Stephanie because I know it's Stephanie Lynn. That's why. So we were light on the stars on the sun on the supers today, but it's all good. It's all good. Everybody, everybody, I wish you a beautiful one as we get into closing out our show with the 30 seconds of stillness. 30 seconds of stillness. I enjoyed laughing and learning with you. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And tell your friends. Also, listen to the podcast. It's available everywhere pods are casted. Listen ad-free by subscribing to Patreon Amanda Seals. Come on and join the Seals Squad. Views from Amandaland. Live 10 a.m. Eastern Monday through Wednesday with content on Thursday and Friday at YouTube Amanda Seals TV.